is a nightmare. I'm just a kid. I know that it's not fair.
So anyways, I started blasting.
I don't know why that got me.
I don't know. That was the first thing that came to mind for some reason.
That's crazy.
I don't know. Anyway, this is the Boat Road Boys podcast.
Hi.
It's Connor. It's Izzy. It's Grassy. It's the whole gang is here. We're watching Simpsons football, Monday Night Football between the Bengals and Cowboys. And I gotta say, it has been interesting.
Yeah.
To say the least so far.
I feel like somebody laced my Jolly Ranchers.
I missed the Toy Stories one. The Toy Story one. That one was more fun to me. Like this one, I haven't tuned into The Simpsons in years. So it feels kind of odd to me.
Do you think Dad's watching this?
You know, I don't. I'm going to say no. He probably doesn't even realize that it's on, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I feel like he would actually enjoy it to some degree. Either that. Well, no, because
not as much as you. You love these things.
No, I do. I love the ones on Nickelodeon because it's just ridiculous. Like, I love when they're like on the field and they're like, "Oh, he's about to get slimed."
See, that one's funny, but like this one feels like so. I'm not gonna say niche because The Simpsons have been around forever, but like, it just feels like. And again, maybe it's just me because I don't know enough Simpsons characters to like justify like. You were calling out everyone by name, and I was like, "Oh, look, there's a donut."
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about it is like they'll replace the players with Simpsons characters, so it's like and it's not like the game itself. They're all animated players, but then they'll occasionally replace the player with a Simpsons character. So you'll have like Bart Simpson throwing touchdown passes to Ralph Wiggum, and it's like. Who's doing what?
Who did it?
Yeah, who actually is scoring a touchdown?
We know Joe Burrow threw the one, but who called it?
Yeah, so you got Homer in at quarterback.
He's apparently the long napper.
Where is this at? This is in.
Did you say long napper?
What?
No,
this is in Springfield.
Well, yes, but it's in Dallas, is what I'm looking at here.
No,
it's in Springfield.
Even I know that.
Yeah, it's just an undisclosed state, but it's in Springfield.
All right. No, we know where it's at.
Yeah, Connecticut.
Springfield, Oregon.
Yeah, but they've never come out and said that.
Yeah, but like,
what is happening?
So now you have Maggie on the field in a hover cart. It looks like.
Yeah, that's for true.
Okay.
Why is Bart playing free safety?
Yeah, why is Bart playing free safety? That is a good question.
Seems like a mismatch to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch Bart
get
this
a pick.
entire
Oh my
play.
God, can we see him get a pick?
Oh, it got picked off.
Well, Taylor Britt picked it off, not Bart, but I know it was an incomplete.
No,
God, there's so much stuff happening.
What's happening?
What is going on?
No, it was an interception.
It was an interception.
Because here comes the Sally.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. What is going on?
And now I'm scared.
And now I have Homer looking at bread.
No, those are turnovers, dummy.
Oh,
you get it? It's a turnover.
I get it now. This is very confusing to watch.
It's like
I get what they're going.
It's
for.
why I don't like. I like it for the idea of like the inclusivity of it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's get people who don't normally watch football to watch football, whatever. But like, at the same time, it's not tracked well enough because like all of a sudden like. Again, that interception. So they go to Selly, and all the guys like come together,
and they just all like,
and they all just
like spazzing.
Yeah,
out.
exactly. Yeah. The final score will be represented by numbers.
That's some
anyway,
in-depth analysis.
Let's talk actual sports, not Simpsons sports.
Yeah. All right. So we got some stuff going on tonight.
We actually have news.
We do.
Wrong pod.
Copyright infringement.
I didn't finish it.
Do they have it copywritten? Yeah, so we're fine.
I'm sure at some point it's.
I'm sure there's probably some legal action
one.
that they take out on us. I will take a pink one, just because I know that's your favorite.
It's actually not my favorite. Thank you very much. It's green.
Oh, that's
really?
right. The green one.
And I ate all of the greens when I got them. So.
What'd you say?
Who, me?
Yeah.
What? I'll take a pink one?
After that.
I don't know. What did I say?
Talking to me or
I
him?
don't know. I was talking to Connor.
Oh, I don't. I mean, we can play it back. I don't know what I said.
Some foul play.
There's foul play.
And then I realized who it's about or who it's coming from.
Yeah.
You dirty little thing.
I was gonna say I don't think so. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, let's start with the. I like to do sandwich with these kinds of things. So we're gonna talk. Normally it's good, bad, good. We're gonna do bad, good, bad tonight.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with so Juan Soto signed. We're gonna start with some Phillies talk, and Juan Soto has signed with the New York Mets
That's all coming.
for a $765 million contract
That's nothing.
with
15 years.
15 years, no deferred money. So they're
No
not,
trade clause.
they're going with the Dodgers, not the Dodgers route, excuse me. But there is an opt out after 5 years.
But they can void it and then up his annual salary.
I think the point of doing it was like in case the market value gets better, like there's a better contract to be had out there. He can
765.
In what, 5 years he'll be like 30?
Well, I mean, think about it. Yeah, roughly. But like, think about it like this: like Bryce Harper, like 5 years ago, got $340 million, and that was the #1 contract in baseball. And
That's blown out of the water.
So somebody will
completely.
probably top that. Yeah, but you look at all the current free agents and all the guys that are coming up, and like, all right, so Juan Soto's gotten paid, Shohei Ohtani's gotten paid, like Bryce Harper's gotten paid, like all these guys have gotten paid. Is there a single person that you can look at right now over the course of the next like 3, 4, 5 years that you think would top that contract?
No.
I
I don't think so.
Bobby Witt.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah, but didn't he already get his contract though?
No, he still.
He didn't?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
I thought he got his contract. Yeah, he did.
There's no way.
Hold on, give me a
'Cause
second.
this is like his 3rd year.
Yeah, I'm actually not 100% certain. I feel like he may have, but I also don't know for certain.
I'm trying to think some of the other ones.
Bobby Witt is a good one.
Bobby Witt Jr. agreed on an 11-year, $288 million deal with the Royals.
Adley Rutschman.
Rutschman has not gotten paid yet.
I doubt he'd get that kind of money though.
No.
Good guesses though.
I'm trying to think because I go to Paul Skeens, but pitchers aren't getting that money.
I mean, Paul Skeens would probably be the closest to get that money, but I mean, they're like literally. I feel like at any pitch that arm could go.
Who's like the next up and comer that would get that contract though?
What's that dude that's in the Rangers system? They just called him up last year.
Oh, yeah, I got no clue.
I don't know.
Aiden Miller.
Maybe one day.
Is that Joe
What about-
Biden?
I think it's supposed to be Jerry Jones. It does look like Joe Biden.
That's
I was
crazy.
gonna say, what?
What about the De La Cruz and Cincy?
Oh, Ellie De La
Ellie.
Cruz.
I don't think he's that.
I don't even think he's going to be on the Reds in 2 years.
Well, I don't.
I'm
think
just trying to think of guys who are like have a lot of hype around them.
like young guys, like
Yeah.
prime guys. Because I would say like Mookie would could be in that argument, but I feel like he's kind of like I wouldn't say he's past his prime, but
he
he's
got
like
his money.
Well, he's older.
that's what I'm saying. Like
So like, hey, we're not going to offer you a 15-year deal so you can play till you're 45.
yeah.
So I'm trying to think of these guys who are younger. And I guess Bobby Witt got
Bobby Witt
paid.
was a good one.
Adley's going to get paid.
He will get paid. I could see Adley commanding
who's
somewhere
the other?
of like
Who's the other guy in Baltimore?
300 to 400.
Oh, Gunnar Henderson?
Yeah, him.
Yeah, Gunnar Henderson could probably and like Kowser if he continues to get better, like I could see him getting a nice hefty contract.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to rattle off names.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a good amount of guys in Baltimore you can make that argument for.
Acuna got paid, right, Ronald?
Yeah,
Yeah, he got his money.
yeah. The Braves cheap out on everybody, and the
Somehow it
players are
works.
just okay
It
with
works.
that. Yeah. Who else?
There's not really.
Like that's what I'm saying.
There's,
Like
there's
I
definitely guys like in farm systems who we can't think of right now. But
yeah.
like, they're just not popping up in my head. And again, it's got to be. It never feels like it'll be a first baseman, a third baseman. Like it
Well,
always
I mean-
feels like it'll be an outfielder.
I was
Or
gonna say
like
Machado did get paid.
Who's the guy in Pittsburgh? Brian,
Brian Reynolds.
is it?
Ryan Reynolds.
Deadpool gets a contract.
I think. Are you talking about the center fielder?
Maybe.
Stephen Kwan.
I was gonna say I think he already got paid.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did shoot, what's his face on Cleveland? Their third baseman get paid?
Jose. Yeah, I think
Ramirez.
he.
Oh,
yeah, I'm pretty sure he also got paid.
Vlad Guerrero Jr.
No, he's not
He's
getting
not
that.
getting that.
We're not
money.
getting that,
No.
but he's gonna get paid.
I
No.
mean, listen, sure, yeah. So is Pete Alonso, but like,
Yeah, Pete Alonso's not getting that money, which also probably means Pete Alonso's not going back to the Mets. If I had to take a guess.
I don't think they can afford to at this point.
No,
It
well,
almost-
and that's the thing too. Like I know
Well-
we were talking to Johnson this morning about it. Like I would be amazed at like what else the Mets can actually do here.
Oh, it
They're gonna bring him back, I think.
yeah.
You think so?
Yes, because it's clear that $700 million contracts just say fuck the luxury tax. So
Johnson just pulled that.
That's an insane pull.
He got the Charizard and
Um,
all that fun stuff.
That's
no,
really,
it's
man.
just that's where I think it's coming from is $765 million just say fuck the luxury tax. It doesn't exist. There's no salary cap, so what's going to prevent them from saying, "Hey, Pete, you want 40 million? Here you go."
Yeah, but like,
Where's the money coming from?
well, that and like,
Stephen Cohen's future children.
but like, who else is there to sign that's like worth being like, hey, we're gonna spend $1 billion this off season? Like, think about it. Like their squad, and I don't want to like, I hate the Mets, but I don't want to like downplay, or I'm not gonna downplay like their playoff run, but like, they were the hot team.
Yeah.
And like the only really good player on that team is Francisco Lindor. Like
Yeah.
who else is there?
Well, they're gonna start saying like Mark Vientos because he had a good postseason run, or they're gonna start saying like Brandon Nimmo is the utility man, the glue guy there.
but so like my whole point is like, okay, so we signed Juan Soto 700. What was it, 65?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we just signed Pete Alonso for another $100 million. Hey, we're gonna go get some relief pitchers, and it's like, hey, you spent $1 billion and you got, Juan Soto, which is fantastic, and then you got like a guy that hits home runs, which there's plenty of those in the MLB, and then you got some like back end bullpen guys. And
Keep
you
in-
spent
keep
$1
in
billion
mind-
and your team might win 10 more games this year.
Keep in mind, Soto was not the only signing that they had made up to that point. They signed 2 more guys before that.
Who did they sign?
I have no clue, but they signed 2 more guys.
Okay.
That makes me scared of them.
I don't fucking know who it is. Am I Jeff Passan all of a sudden? I don't know.
This is supposed to be your job.
No, my job is to cover the Phillies, not the Mets.
True.
That's a good point. And I mean, let's be honest here for a second about the whole situation. Like, it's not like Juan Soto was already in the NL East.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like
It's just not good having him back.
No, it was like ideal to only have to play him like two different series an
Yeah.
entire season. And now, like, obviously we play the Mets a ton, so like we're gonna be seeing Juan Soto a ton.
I just don't know how much. And again, I would have said this for any team, like even the Phillies. We talked about it. I don't know how much it moves the needles for the Mets, or the needle for the Mets, because like we talked about before, like it's one guy. And
Yeah.
again, I don't want to downplay who Juan Soto is. Juan Soto is obviously one of the best players in baseball right now, but it's like, hey, you brought in a right fielder, power bat, fantastic 5-tool hitter, but like that team to me still has so many holes.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yes, you have Francisco Lindor. Hey, you currently don't have a first baseman.
Also a good
Currently.
point.
Who's your second baseman? I don't even remember.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm drawing a blank on who their second baseman
Is Brett Beatty their third baseman?
Yes.
Their catcher is, I can see his face.
Let me see. I'll pull up the Mets roster.
Sterling Marte plays left. Nimmo's in center.
Vientos is somewhere in there.
But like, again, so like, and again, I don't want to downplay.
Francisco Alvarez, their catcher.
Thank you. That was his name.
Yeah.
I don't want to downplay the Mets.
Jeff McNeil, their second baseman.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Their postseason run, but like that team doesn't scream to me that like we're a piece away.
I do also believe that the Mets got hot at the right time.
Yeah.
And now, granted, I understand that, like, they carried a lot of that from, like, they played the London series against Philly, like, and it just kind of seemed like they got hot from there, and they kind of carried it all the way through the end of the season. Like, I get that. I do think they got hot at, like, the right time up until they faced the Dodgers in the NLCS. But, like, I do kind of agree. It's like, what is the difference going to make by adding, like, one guy? By adding Juan Soto. Like, we've seen before, like, time and time again, like, you can have, the best player in baseball on your team, but what is it actually going to translate to? Like,
Yeah.
you've seen Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani on the same baseball team, and then the team is just terrible,
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It like the way I look at it again is like if Juan Soto would have signed in Philly, and I know there was like rumors we were going to talk to him. I don't even know if we ever did.
I don't even think they did.
I don't think we did. I don't think we ever.
They were
never.
never. They were never even in
no
contention for him.
But if he would have, it at least would have made sense in my brain. Or even let's just say, the Diamondbacks. Like let's just name a random team.
Yeah.
Like to me, I'm like, okay, well, like the Diamondbacks are closer to a World Series than the Mets are. And again, I keep saying I don't want to I'm not trying to downplay the Mets postseason run, but I think they just got hot, and that's what happens in baseball. Teams get hot, and just think about the Nationals winning the World Series a couple years back. Like they were not the best team in baseball, but
No.
they were the hottest team in baseball.
No, Nationals were not a good team. They got hot like halfway through the season, and it carried over to the playoffs, and then they immediately became a bad baseball team again.
And so like there were other franchises where I'm like, okay, like, or even like the Red Sox. The Red Sox don't really have anyone outside of like Rafael Devers, but they have so much like cap flexibility. I know there's no cap, but like, whereas the Mets, it's like, hey, we're going to dump all this money into you. We already have Lindor, yada, yada, yada. Like, it just doesn't, I don't know. Like, again, it takes them from like a good team to like a slightly better team in my eyes. And again, I will be. I said it about the Phillies too. Like when we talked, like, hey, do you want to spend $700 on one guy or spread that between a couple guys? And we were all like, yeah, it'd be cool if they signed Juan, but like, hey, it kind of might make more sense to go get Alex Bregman and then go get a really good relief pitcher and this, that, and Teoscar Hernandez on top of that. Like, like it's just.
Well, I'd love to get a guy like Teoscar Hernandez.
Oh, absolutely. But like,
well, I think he's kind of eyeing up a Dodgers return.
But they did just sign Conforto.
He reported that he is looking. They're far off on negotiation terms, but I feel like he's like eyeing up a Dodgers return.
I think a lot of people want to go to the Dodgers. Apparently,
I mean,
did you like what I sent you earlier today, Connor?
About
Scott Boras thing.
if you like deferred money, sign in L.A.
I mean, they're going to have so much money on the books after the fact.
Forever.
Yes.
And again, I've said it before. I've probably said it on here. I think deferred money is so bad for baseball.
Well, a lot of these contract structures are like, there was something I saw too that like Ken Griffey Jr. is still like the highest paid Reds player.
Yeah.
Like, Shohei Ohtani is going to be on those books for a very long time.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, it makes sense, again, in terms of, like, looking out for a player, essentially being like, hey, I'm going to defer this money so that for the rest of my life, every year I have millions falling into my bank account. It makes sense. I'm not saying it doesn't. But in terms of, like, for the good of the sport, it makes zero sense because, like, again, and the whole argument is like, well, what's stopping every other team from doing it? And I'm like, well, not every other team has the market that the Dodgers have to say, hey, yeah, we can spend $1 billion for the next, we can just keep pushing that money off and we'll be fine.
It's just kicking that can further and further down the road,
And it just like doesn't make sense. It just like really frustrates me because I even think of teams like formerly the Oakland A's where I'm like, they don't have the money to be able to be like, hey, we're going to defer. Like, do you want to defer this money?
They just gave their biggest contract out.
And it probably didn't even scratch triple digits.
No, it didn't. The biggest contract in team history was just given out a week prior to you having a $765 million contract handed out. The biggest contract in A's history.
$65 million.
Luis Severino, $67 million.
So crazy.
$67 million is the biggest contract in A's history. We are in the big 2024. You have guys making $300 million. Like, essentially, like...
You have two guys making $700 million.
And the biggest contract that you've handed out
It's 64 mil.
$67 million. Like, that is bonkers to me.
It's just, and again, it's why I think they need to figure out some way to...
They need to figure out...
There needs to be a harsher penalty for being over X amount of dollars. And again, that's what they're doing now, but it's apparently not big enough that like these big market teams are just like, whatever, it's fine, we'll eat it.
I don't understand the point of being an owner if you're just going to cheap out. Like, I understand, like, you're trying to save money, but, like, doesn't it bring in more
money if your team's good?
If your team is good, like, you're actively trying to win. Like, that's, like, the biggest difference that I see between baseball and other sports is, like, okay, you have a salary cap. So, like, whatever you do with that salary cap and manipulating the salary cap and, like, doing this, that, and the other, you know, I get it to a degree. Like, sometimes you miss out on those salary cap guys. But, like, in baseball... Like, if you're actively showing that you're trying to win and you're going out and trying to get these big name guys, like, you try and go get, like, your franchise cornerstone, the money will follow.
Yeah.
Because the fans are like, hey, they want to win. I want to see them win. I want to go watch this guy play. Like, you know, like, that was the biggest thing when the Phillies got Bryce Harper is the Phillies didn't have a franchise player.
Yep.
They went out and they're like, hey, we're going to go out and sign Bryce Harper. And then for them to actually do anything in contention, they're like, okay, we need to go over the luxury tax. We're going to go out and sign Kyle Schwarber. We're going to go out and sign Nick Castellanos. That's when the fans started coming in and pouring in.
No.
And then the winning, I mean, for the
Philly's a
most
little
part.
different, but, like, yes.
I understand Philly's a little different in that regard. But, like, I feel like other teams that they follow suit.
I saw that too, Grassy.
Did groundskeeper really just kill Marge?
Yeah, I saw him
He
looking
just
around.
killed
I
her.
didn't.
Bro just put like a...
He just took a weed eat at her head.
I'm having this conversation, but I'm also paying attention
I'm
to the
trying to
game
be
here.
so serious with this talk, but
I feel like I need a
fuck me, I
drink.
just witnessed a murder.
I really, like I said, this game is like watching backyard football.
I feel like Charlie, and I've drank some paint.
Just drinking lead-based paint. Like, I don't know. I really don't know what to think of this game.
So, do we think the Phillies are going to make any trades
Yes.
at all? All right.
Yes.
So,
The Philly, I don't.
So let me
whatever the Phillies roster is right now. I don't think we are anywhere close to what the final product is going to be.
Okay.
I think the big domino to fall was Juan Soto. I think that
And
everybody
he
was kinda
fell
waiting
a
on it.
lot earlier than I thought.
did.
he
yeah,
would.
I thought
I
we
was half
weren't we saying
expecting-
like past January or
No,
whatever?
I was saying
Not
that
past January, but like
I
in
was
the new
saying he
year.
could be like Bryce Harper territory, where it's like not till like March. So the fact that he signed in December is a blessing to everybody.
Yes.
We're currently at the winter meetings, so I could absolutely see some more activity pick up here over the course of the next couple weeks.
I think
The Phillies have been very active in trade talks between the Mariners, the White Sox.
I think Alec gets moved in the next month.
Alex's name seemingly is attached to every single deal that we've heard.
So, well, because going back on the who's available for what, I just saw according to Twitter, I forget who said it, but the Astros are listening to trade talks on Kyle Tucker and Framber Valdez, and St. Louis is listening to offers on Nolan Arenado.
I'm not big on Nolan Arenado, though.
Not at
Neither
this
am I.
point.
Neither am
No.
I. And I know I think we talked about it. Was it you and me, Connor? Was it?
I think so.
It was about because one of us said about the idea of if they were to go pull an Arenado, St. Louis would have to eat his contract.
They would
and
have
he'd
to
be-
eat a lot of that money.
He would be a bridge player for Aiden Miller to come up
Mark Simpson drops back.
because Arenado has what 3 years left on that contract, and that's a lot of money still left to be paid out to him. Or no,
Yeah.
he has like 6 years left on the contract, doesn't he?
If you're gonna go get a third baseman, I think the one you go get is Alex Bregman.
See, but like, if I'm not opposed to going to get Bregman, but he's got to lower his rate because Boris is saying he wants how much he wants over. Connor, you remember what it was I texted you?
What, like
Bregman's.
Bregman, he wants
Asking
over 100
price.
million for Bregman,
yeah.
and Bregman wants like a double-digit year, $100 million contract, and I'm like, no, he's 31. That sounds terrible. But I wouldn't mind Bregman. I would like to have Alex Bregman, considering Adames is off the board. But I don't know what they're gonna. I don't know what their plan is. I got very scared last night when I saw the Soto deal because I'm like, okay, so what are we gonna do?
Well, all right. So there's a couple names that are floating around out there. Like, it seems like there's a lot of names on the trade market. So I'm curious to see, like, what direction that they're gonna go.
Did Lisa just score a touchdown?
I'm also all right. Sorry, real quick before I make this point. How is it that every single time that they do a Simpsons character prior,
Okay, Connor.
I think it's on a delay.
is it on a delay?
100% on a delay.
I think it's on a delay.
Okay.
100%.
All right.
So I think Chase Brown just scored a touchdown.
Please wait. I'll check that.
Okay, so they knew it was going.
Yes, they're not just like lucky and they're like, oh my gosh.
Because I feel like that's
Oh no, he's out at
No, that's weak.
the 1. No, at the 6.
oh, okay.
Go back to Lisa.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense that they're on a delay. Sorry, I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner. I was just like, wow, they keep getting lucky with like repeatedly putting it on Simpsons characters, and like they're just
I mean,
like, making plays.
Ralph Moss somebody earlier.
Yeah.
Bart's throwing dimes out here like he's prime Tom Brady.
But anyway, I'm sorry. So,
What is
there's a lot of
And
names.
the fact that they're keeping Lisa in is telling me that Chase Brown is about to score a touchdown.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you a question. What would we think is a reasonable, not trade, but trade target the Phillies could make?
Shohei Ohtani.
Okay.
Trade for Juan Soto,
Okay. Mike Trout.
Paul Skeens.
Are you?
I'm not serious with Mike Trout. I'm just
Okay,
I'm
but
just,
like,
I'm just messing with you.
I
guys.
could be.
I wouldn't see. I told this.
He has a no trade clause, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So like, something tells me he would very easily be like, yeah, I want to come play for Philly.
He could waive that, although he is a very big Los Angeles fan for some reason. Even though they wasted.
Yeah, but
his
if he's obviously reaching the downward slope of his career due to injuries and all that fun stuff. So it's like, hey, if I want to go give my best shot at winning a World Series, I'll go to Philly. And we send the best part about him having a no trade clause is he can just be like, I just want to go to Philly. And then we could just be like, here's anyone. Here's Griff McGarry. And they'd be like, okay, fine.
I mean, that's the optimistic side of it.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to do that though, and that sucks because I would really love to have Mike Trout on this team.
Yeah, I at this point, like I think Mike Trout is just like in L.A. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll ever come to Philly at this point.
He'll be in Philly when he's like 41.
Right.
Yeah. As far
As the hitting coach.
yeah, as far as like targets yet, like Seiya Suzuki from the Cubs,
Mm-hmm.
I could absolutely see him being a target. Cody Bellinger, I could see being
I
a
would
target.
love that.
I'm going to say this though. I am a very big advocate on the Phillies need to be in the Japanese market, and
Well,
I think they need to make.
it was a touchdown.
I think
okay.
I think they need to make a big push for Roki Sasaki.
Well, I would love for them to
they
get him.
really
Apparently, they're in the mix for him, which they seemingly are in the mix
Oh
for
my
everybody.
gosh, there's no way. It literally says Lisa Simpson scores a touchdown. Who scored the touchdown?
Chase Brown.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I absolutely believe that they should be in on some of these guys. Although everybody
Cody
seemingly-
Bellinger would be a lot of fun.
I would.
Do you think they could-
I
do you
wanted
think they
Cody
could make-
Bellinger last year? And
Do you think they can make a play for Masataka Yoshida?
I could see that.
You think the
for
Red Sox?
right?
Yeah, the Red Sox are willing to give him.
I don't know. I mean, I guess
they were in on him when he was coming over from Japan, and for some odd reason, he chose Boston of all places.
Well, I know he's a big Bryce Harper fan.
That's what I said. I'm like, oh, it's a given. He's coming to Philly, and then he was like Boston, and I'm like, why?
You probably would have to like make some pieces move. Like you'd probably have to move Castellanos more likely than not, because I'm pretty sure he's a right fielder, isn't he?
That's a great question.
I'm pretty sure he is. So I don't know. You have I know you say Kyle Tucker. Obviously, we've kind of been in the market for pitching. Like it seems like Dave is trying to test his hand, trading for starting pitching, and then like try and bring in like sign some hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Like that kind of seems to be the vibe right now. So
I just don't understand the idea of bringing in another starting pitcher right now.
I really think they might be moving on from Ranger.
You think that's what the?
I that's the vibe that I'm getting, is that they're moving on from Ranger. Like I don't like this year could be like a prove it year for Ranger, but I could see it being like they're just looking to move on from him, like they don't want to pay him kind of thing.
I mean, you did just sign Christopher Sanchez for cheap, so
Like you signed Christopher Sanchez for dirt cheap. You just locked up Nola to a long-term deal. You just locked up Zach Wheeler to a long-term deal.
so it's hey, let's go trade for Crochet.
Let's go trade for Crochet, so that gives you your 4.
I
You
think
bring in Painter in.
I was
that's
gonna say,
your
I think the
5,
anticipation is having Painter come up sooner rather than later. I think I would not surprise me if he starts high or not high A, AAA this year, and then he'll get a call up.
No, he'll start Double A. 100%.
I think it depends on
100% start Double A.
I think it depends on how he performs in spring training.
I think regardless, he 100% starts in Double A.
Wasn't he in AAA before? Or no, was he just
No?
Who's this Painter?
Yeah.
No, he's only been at Double-A.
Okay.
Was he even there?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
there.
he
you're
was
right,
in
yeah.
he was in Reading. Yeah, I knew that.
So I think he goes back to Reading. I could see it happening very quickly where they're like, hey, first week of the season, yada yada yada, or first month, and then hey, we're gonna go throw you a game or two at AAA, and then they're like, okay, here you go.
Or they could just pull him from Double A. I was gonna say,
because it does feel like the Phil's logic that like every guy they're pulling up seems to come from Double A. Like,
I mean, if he lights it up right away in Double-A, like I don't see.
No, yeah, he'll definitely start in Double. I don't see them being like, hey, we're gonna send you right to AAA.
Yeah.
Especially because like pitching is such a confidence thing. So it's like, hey, you're going, and
he did look good in the fall league.
You're lighting up that radar gun.
Pitcher of the year in the fall league.
Dude, I think he could be a legit. Like, where was that? I think he could be a legit ace in this league.
Who needs Joe Mixon when you have Lisa goddamn Simpson with those wheels?
I also would like to say real quick as we're watching this game. Somebody had pointed out you can actually there's a broadcast setting on the Amazon football game.
Yes, I did see that.
That you can do it not from this angle that they're showing on the
top
TV.
Down.
Yeah, like it's almost like you're playing like Madden.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I actually kind of like it because you can see the whole field. Like you can kind of see like what the quarterback sees. Like I don't know. I think it's the best way to watch football.
I'm a big fan of the traditional look at the quarterback's ass onward. Yeah, you gonna fight that point?
I mean, it's hard to fight that point.
I know. And again, maybe it's just because that's the only way I'm used to it.
You're talking like the angle.
Normal.
Yeah. I mean,
sky cam from behind, and you can kind of see.
Yes, from the perspective of like old school, like traditional. Yeah, like I do agree. Like it is a great way to watch football.
I am very I'm just like this. I get everything I need to see. Like I understand wanting to be like, oh, I want to see everything. I want to see the routes and stuff, and I'm like, nah, I kind of just want to see
the important stuff.
Yeah, actually, I guess football is side. I'm looking at The Simpsons. Normal football is like the side angle.
Yeah.
I can see the battle in the trenches, and I can basically I like the excitingness of watching AJ Brown or whoever disappear off my screen, and then the ball just gets thrown downfield, and I'm like, oh, or I don't even know how many guys are guarding them.
Or like you see like Jalen Hurts throw that like rainbow throw,
Yep.
and it's like, who on earth is this going to? Like, yeah,
it's kind of exciting.
No, I get what you're saying.
It's just like I also don't like NBA has done this in like the All-Star game and stuff, they do like the rail cam
Yeah.
where it's like, hey, it's like following the ball from like the floor level, and I'm like, this looks awful.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just a big fan of just like traditional camera angles.
I get it. No, I understand where you're coming from.
Is this a good transition into football talk?
I said we were going to sandwich method it, but maybe.
Oh, okay.
But maybe.
Here, let's sandwich. I just brought up the NBA All-Star game.
I was gonna. Well, maybe we can end on a positive note.
Yeah, we probably should.
All right, let's do that. Eagles. We're gonna go Eagles here.
We're saying this is a negative. Like the Eagles didn't just come off another win.
Well, it's because everybody is now grumpy all of a sudden. Like we went from like all last week. We come off a win against the Ravens. Really great win against the Ravens. Our best win of the season. And vibes are great. Everybody's like, yeah, like Lions are good, but Lions just barely beat the Bears on Thanksgiving. And then they just barely beat the Packers. It's like, Eagles are the best team of football. And everybody's like, yeah, Eagles are the best team of football. It's like, vibes are great. And then all of a sudden, we play the Panthers. And we won.
It did give off trap game.
It was
Yeah,
100% a trap game, especially when you have that guy that put $3 million on the Eagles to win the game.
Yep.
Like, you almost kind of figured that you were doomed from the start. And we win thanks to Xavier Legette dropping a wide open pass.
Yeah.
Jake Elliott missed a field goal, which nobody's talking about that. Jake has got to be relieved about everything else going on right now because nobody's talking about that. But after the game, like Jalen Hurts didn't look good really at all yesterday. And, they asked A.J. Brown because A.J. Brown looked visibly frustrated the entire game. And they're like, hey, AJ, like, what's wrong with the offense? And he's like, passing. And everybody's like, passing, not just, receiving, this, that. It's like, okay. So speculation starts, as it does in Philadelphia sports media. And it's like, okay, you could be mad at Jalen Hurts. But, maybe that's not entirely
You'd
like
be mad at Kellen Moore.
You could be mad at Kellen Moore. You could be mad at, like, there's so many things that you could be mad at. And it's all speculation, and that's the beauty of it. It's all speculation. And then all of a sudden, until tonight, when Brandon Graham goes on WIP, for whatever reason, and it's just like, yeah, man, like 1-11, like they just got to figure out. Like I know they're friends prior to that, but like life happens, man, and it's like, BG, what are you talking about? Like
why are you airing dirty laundry?
Why are you airing dirty laundry? Like, you are the most prolific player on this entire team.
You are the literal team captain.
You are
the team captain.
When you are literally the Philadelphia Eagle.
Yeah.
Like, if there is anybody, I would put BG over like a lot of guys in like Eagles history as far as like the face of the franchise.
Yep.
Because, like, I'd put him over Kelsey. I'd put him over Cox. I'd put him over...
Okay, yeah.
I would put Brandon Graham over so many... Because he's got the games played. He's got the durability. He's got the underdog. He's got the blue-collar...
He's got stats to him, too.
He's got the stats. He's got the strip sack in the Super Bowl. He has got so much for him as a Philadelphia Eagle. Like, he is the Philadelphia Eagle in my mind. And for him to go on WIP
and be the guy that's like, here's what's happening in our locker room.
Yeah, to be like, hey man, like Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, they were friends before coming to the team, and now they're not really friends. And it's like, what do you mean by that? and why are you saying these things? Like, so
I love drama.
The weird thing is, so you remember all the drama from last year?
Mm-hmm.
That was the drama from last year was kind of like bubbling over when they started losing games.
Yep.
We're winning the games. We're, like I said, like literally a week ago, we were being called the best team in football.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden, coming off of a win,
it's
like,
win.
oh, there's turmoil in Philadelphia.
But again, it was all speculation.
Yep.
Prior
until BG was
until
like,
Brandon Graham was literally like, yeah, that's speculation. It's true. And it's like, what are you doing? Who is this helping?
What I like to boil it down to is just the fact that, like, and we all know this, it's just AJ Brown's just a diva.
He is.
Like I don't like I love AJ. Like I have an AJ jersey hanging above me. I love AJ. But like when things don't go right, and like it didn't go right yesterday. Like we looked really bad. The run wasn't there. Like everything just didn't feel good. Jalen missed some wide open
A lot
AJ
of wide open
routes.
throws, yeah.
There's frustration that comes from that. And again, I like to believe that AJ is just like the highest form of competitor, and he has so much competitive drive in him that he's like, when things don't look right, get me the ball. And if I'm not getting the ball and games are being played like this, like I'm going to be mad about it. And like from that perspective, I'm like, okay, I respect it. Like the dude just wants to win. He wants to do his part. And the only way he can do his part is if the ball's thrown towards him.
Well, and all the last like 2 weeks, essentially, reporters came to AJ and they came to Devontae, and they're like, hey, man, like, you guys are a run-first team. You're not that great in the passing game, but you guys are still winning. Like, so, like, what's the issue? Like, how do you feel about not getting targets? And both AJ and Devontae are both like, yeah, like, we want to win. Like, you know, we're
Like all season they've seemed like totally content with it. Like,
yeah. But
like
and all of a sudden, you know, you have a game where the offense isn't clicking, and
the run seems to be struggling.
the run seems to be struggling. It's still effective. It's just not as effective as like how it's been the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Can I just say real quick? I was looking up because I wanted to read exactly what was said from BG, both the one from WIP and the like clarification statement.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just saw that apparently Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens are still beefing.
Well, yeah, I actually did see that.
Wait, excuse me?
So basically, 4 hours ago, of course, WIP put out Donovan McNabb on A.J. Brown's potential frustrations with Jalen Hurts. He says, "It's two grown men. If you got an issue, you come to me. Let's not go through the media because now it blows up and now what you said is out there in front of everybody." And then T.O. quote tweeted
And then
that.
Terrell Owens
It's
took
like,
offense to
no,
that.
that's interesting coming from you, bro. And it's like,
I love that.
Now-
it's like, good to see you guys still hate each other.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, that was literally the whole reason why Terrell Owens and Donovan McNabb, the reason why they only played one season together is because they essentially hated each other.
Can I just say though, I am going to predict that AJ Brown is going to get a lot of touches on Sunday against the Steelers.
He probably will. Yeah,
I feel like Sirianni's going to be like, all right, well, here, have the ball.
But so I brought up this point prior to us going on the pod. I said to Nolan, I said to Izzy, I'll say it on here. So yes, like you look at AJ Brown, and it's like it's easy to look at AJ Brown and say, hey man, you're being a diva. But again, kind of to your point too here. So when the offense is not clicking, all right, the offense is struggling. Like the run game's been like good, but it's not like carrying you the way that it normally is. Like you're not doing anything in the passing game. You're open.
Yeah.
You're running your routes. You look at the tape. You're open multiple times. All right. And you know you're open. You know you're doing it, and your quarterback's just not getting you the ball. I would probably be a little frustrated too.
Yeah,
to be honest.
and that's why, like, as of right now, I do think this is just a whole bunch of nothing. Like, I think it's super unfortunate that like BG said something because I think it's just going to blow up. Now, the flip side is maybe BG said something to like put these guys on blast a little bit.
Well,
to
and
be
he did apologize.
Yeah, but to be like, hey, like, you guys need to get your shit together. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what is happening? Why is he running the wrong way? I don't know. I couldn't
Well,
tell
he
you
gained-
because
he
I'm
gained
watching him not do
He
anything.
gained 3 yards.
But yeah, so maybe BG is trying to be like the leader in the clubhouse in like a weird sense of like,
Well, that's what I said to him on the way here. It was like maybe he's just saying it to like, hey, like it's public now, so you guys got to squash it. Like,
yeah,
it's
like,
something
take
like
care
that.
of it. Like,
It's a bold strategy, Cotton, because now everybody over the media is now
I was
going
gonna
to
say
speculate,
they're gonna get asked about it
and
a million times.
now they have to be the ones to answer it. Like,
Yeah. And so maybe that's all BG wanted was to kind of just be like maybe it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Maybe at the end of the game, you know, everyone was like, yeah, we won, and AJ was a little a little mad about like, hey, you missed me like a couple times, you yada yada yada. and BG was like, hey, like we won this game, like let's leave it at that, and whatever was said or whatever, I don't know, but so again, I do think this is a whole bunch of nothing again, like
Maybe-
and even BG being like, yeah, they were friends beforehand. I'm like, dude, like Jalen is like the godfather of AJ's kids or vice versa or
Yeah.
whatever it is. I'm like, there's no way that they are not friends.
Yeah.
Like none. Like again, like best friends beef. Like it's what
It
happens.
happens. Yeah.
Like sure there are times I want to punch Connor in the face, but I don't.
And
Exactly.
there are times that I do punch Connor in the face.
Exactly. I get under people's skins a little bit. I'm a little bit of a diva myself. I'm sorry, guys.
He does. He likes wearing high heels.
I do. I mean, look at my socks. I mean, so this is what Brandon Graham after the fact.
Ah, he found it. Dang it.
What were you looking for? It.
Yeah, I couldn't find it.
So this is what. Wow, nice drop kick. This is what Brandon Graham said after the fact. So he goes on WIP and it's like throws. And again, what Brandon Graham was really even saying, like it really didn't even make sense as he was saying it.
Yeah.
And now, like looking at the tweet here of like him kind of like apologizing for saying it, also doesn't really make sense. So this is what he said. All right, this is after the fact. So he said, I just assumed about their friendship, and it made me out to look even worse because I had it all wrong, and now people are going to run with that part. I really just want to win, man, and I want brothers to be able to just hash it out. I'm going to make sure I apologize to both of them. As for the overall message Graham was trying to convey, I wasn't trying to be decisive or divisive. I just didn't want to use the media in a bad way. I can't do that either. If I've got something to say, I've got to go to the people too.
Yeah.
I made a mistake and I assumed that it was something that it wasn't. I just wanted to win so bad, and I just don't want to use the media. We need to talk about something. So like he's basically saying he's like, I should have A, kept it in house, and B, I should have
Just talk to them.
just talked to them.
So it
I was
does.
gonna say,
It
doesn't
does
sound kind of redundant for what he just said.
But it does sound like he was trying to do what I was at least like conveying.
Yes.
Of like, hey, I'm gonna bring this to the media. You guys got to figure this shit out. Like,
But he's speculating, like Brandon Graham is speculating, which is like
Which
do you
kinda-
think
which kinda
he's just
worries
trying
me.
to give confusing answers so that the media is like, what the fuck is going on?
Maybe what he's doing is.
But again,
creating-
like I said, none of what he is saying is even making any cohesive sense. Like what he just said there that I just read is confusing in its own right.
maybe
Yeah, but
What
do you
he
think he's
said-
just being confusing at this point so that the media is like, what? Like,
I'm just kind of like what, and like I said, I mean the whole thing that even talking about it in the first place is also just kind of like, why are you talking about this to begin with? And as I'm like scrolling through Twitter, I'm like looking at multiple clips of Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown on the sideline being the best of buds.
yeah.
And I'm also like, literally just 2 weeks ago, they're beating up on the Rams and they're doing their Fresh Prince of Bel-Air handshake.
Yep.
And it's like, I don't really think that there's that big of a problem. Now, again, that could just be me and an optimist,
Yeah.
because we've seen this drama happen before with QB1s and wide receiver ones with McNabb and Owens and Wentz and Jeffrey, and like there's just so like a long history of this happening in Philly. So I don't know. I don't really know what to make of the whole thing. I don't think anybody looks good in any light.
what I think happened in this situation, the only thing that I can speculate is that AJ was extremely frustrated and he let it show a little bit to the media, but wasn't actually, like, he kind of just blew Jalen off a little bit. And then BG may have taken that as,
But
well,
BG,
bro, you gotta calm down here.
BG is literally in the locker room with these guys. Like
That's
that,
what I'm saying. He might have. That's why I think he blew. That's why I think AJ blew him off, because it was like
that's the thing that is most confusing to me. And it's like BG is literally in the locker room with these guys every single day.
Yeah.
And so why are you speculating? Like, why are you the one out here like talking about their relationship? Like that's what I don't understand.
This entire situation can be rectified if they go out on Sunday and they play a really good game against the Steelers.
Well,
What is going to be a very detrimental thing is if they go out and they play really bad and there's no good party about the game, and they go out and lose a blowout loss. And then
I'm expecting 15 AJ Brown targets.
I'm expecting a lot, yeah.
I feel like he is going to be getting a ton of targets.
Which, again, it's why it's like I said, the whole situation can be fixed if they go out and they play a really good game and everyone's on the same page and AJ and Jalen are like, yep, we're great, whatever, we do our thing.
I do want to at least talk some positives about the Eagles because we are now 11-2.
And we did clinch a playoff spot.
We did clinch a playoff spot.
Yay.
We for the fourth or fifth time in team history, we've now won 9 games in a row. If we beat Pittsburgh on Sunday, then it'll be the first time in franchise history we've won 10 games in a row. And Saquon Barkley has the all-time Eagles rushing record for a season. The bonkers thing is he did it in 13 games.
It's so crazy. He's so good.
He has 4 games left to beat Eric Dickerson's all-time rushing record.
Single season record.
Single season rushing record. If I'm not mistaken, he needs like 480 some yards.
Yeah, he needs to average 126 a game.
Yes,
Which is like
doable.
Well, literally his average.
Yeah. So I think he can do it.
Fun fact, who we're playing week 18?
The Giants.
I know.
Can you imagine if he did it against the Giants?
It would be so great.
It would be fantastic.
Is that one in Philly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah,
would be
it
in
is.
Philly.
It would have been even better if he did it in MetLife.
No, MetLife scares me. I don't want him playing there.
Well, I don't. Yeah, at this point in the season, I also don't want to play in MetLife. But you know how poetic it would have been had he done it in MetLife.
You know what would be even better? If he did it week 17. And then he could
didn't
just
have to play
sit.
each week.
Yeah.
18. At that point, he's just adding fuel to the fire if he just keeps
Yeah,
running
if
up.
they're like, wow, congrats, Saquon, week 17, you have the all-time single-season rushing record. And he's like, I'm playing next week.
I guess best case scenario is if like we're still playing for the 1 seed, and they're like, all right, just keep marching
What if
these
it
guys
is-
back
so
out
here's-
there.
We need Detroit to lose.
Okay, here's my question. What do you do? Now, I think I know Saquon's answer. Let's say we end up clinching the number 1 seed. It's like, hey, like, you guys have it. You don't have to play anyone week 18. And Saquon is 3 yards away from the single season.
He'll
record.
get, he'll get
he'll
the
get
3
it.
yards.
I was gonna say,
They'll play him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He'll get the 3 yards on the They did
Oh.
it. Didn't they already do that?
They've done it with Smitty. They've done it with Kelsey.
I was gonna say they did do it with Kelsey. It was for the No.
consecutive games.
Yeah,
played.
it was for the consecutive game. They immediately took him out.
Kelsey will literally play a snap and then he'll immediately come out. And then Devontae Smith for the Eagles receiving rookie record. He literally played like 4 snaps, got all 4 targets, and then they took him out, and he didn't play the entire rest of the game. Like they'll do that stuff. Like if he's like 3 yards short, he'll get in for like a snap or 2.
Yeah, he'll gain 4 yards, slide out,
and
slide
then
down, and be
immediately
like, all right,
get
I'm
taken
out.
out.
He'll
Yeah,
go up for a 75-yard touchdown run.
That would be something.
that would be kind of nutty.
Punts the ball into the stands.
Yeah, dive into the stands head first.
Actually, if he breaks the all-time single-season rush record, and it's on a touchdown, I really hope he just says like "fuck the fine" and slam dunks on the goalpost. Because that would just—I don't know. I loved that celebration. I'm mad that
Because in history, that all of history will just have to show a flag on the play.
So I do want to bring this up because they're showing Deebo Samuel right now, and we're talking about AJ Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen like a lot of the stuff with Deebo this year?
I saw just like today he tweeted out that like his quarterback essentially sucks.
Wait, did he?
Essentially, yeah.
Hold up, I gotta find it.
Like, so obviously he's already gotten into a fight with the long snapper and kicker this season. And then there is today where he was like, you guys get mad at me.
He just tweeted out, not struggling at all, just not getting the ball.
Yeah, which is essentially like him kind of throwing his like team and quarterback under the bus, which I guess you could almost kind of say the same thing about like what AJ's saying.
Okay, why are we getting
Stephen A. Smith
why are
and
we getting
Simpsons
Stephen
version?
A. Smith in Simpsons the universe? Why is he on the table?
Stephen A. Smith, it would be great on The Simpsons.
I'm dreaming. I have to be dreaming. What am I watching?
I can't wait for Grassy to wake up and he's actually 15 again.
Wouldn't that be something?
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm like trying to like pay attention to what Stephen A. Smith is saying.
Blasphemous.
Who was on crack?
I can't believe that seems so crazy. I'm just glad AJ doesn't do that. Like jump on Twitter, and like, could you imagine if he jumped on Twitter and was like, "I'm not struggling. I'm just not getting the ball."
If he was just like, I'm not struggling. Jalen's just not throwing me the ball. Like,
Yeah, if he name dropped Jalen, like that'd be a lot worse than be like, well, I'm not getting targets.
yeah. I mean,
Receiving touchdowns this season: Debo Samuel, 1. Josh Allen, 1.
yeah, that is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Josh Allen had
Listen,
6 touchdowns.
I think
Josh Allen broke the fantasy points record.
for a quarterback. Yep.
It was 62. That's crazy.
I know.
I think tomorrow we'll get more clarification on the whole situation.
Well,
between...
thankfully, Brandon Graham did this early enough in the week where now we have to listen to Nick
Oh,
Sirianni
God, yeah, now
talk
we're gonna
about
have to-
it.
yeah, we're
and
now we're gonna have to
Kellen Moore
hear-
talk about
yeah,
it.
I hope
and
Big
AJ
I hope
and
Big
Jalen.
Dom
and
talks
Howie
about
at
it.
some point too.
Well, I saw the tweet. You know I think is it Goodfellas? The scene from Goodfellas where they take what's his name?
Good question.
I don't know if you know what movie I'm talking about.
I mean, of the movie, I've actually never seen it.
What's that guy's name? He's in the Home Alone.
Goodfellas?
He's in the Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin or Macaulay Culkin?
No.
Macaulay.
No. The
Macaulay
Joe Pesci?
chameleon.
Joe Pesci.
Yeah, Joe Pesci. All right, so it's Joe Pesci, and like they take him.
He
and,
went to IMDb too. He was looking it
I
up.
was looking it up. They take Joe Pesci.
That was supposed to be your job, Grassy.
Yeah, you're the producer.
No, I produce for Philadelphia sports, not Joe Pesci.
So they like take Joe Pesci into a room and they like essentially like shoot him. But like I saw something.
Is that what we're doing with AJ Brown?
No,
What are you
no,
insinuating
not,
here?
Not with AJ
We're
Brown.
so off topic. I
Not
don't
with
know what we're
AJ
doing
Brown, but I
anymore.
saw a picture on Twitter.
Ralph.
It's Howie Roseman and Big Dom walking Brandon Graham into, and it's the exact scene. But they like basically just put their heads on.
Just old yeller him.
Yeah.
Just look at the flowers, BG. Think about retirement. Man, I'm gonna spend so much time in New Jersey.
So, all right. So I think we kind of had our positives with the Eagles. They did win. They're 11-2. They're playing Pittsburgh this week.
Shout out Grant Calcaterra for getting his first NFL touchdown.
Shout out Grant Calcaterra.
You gotta say it how you always say
Grant
it.
Calcaterra.
Thank you.
What
What time's the game Sunday?
4:30.
4:30, Connor. We are gonna have to not be able to watch it in TV.
We'll find a way.
Why? What are you guys doing?
We're going to the Kosher's, the light
Going to
show.
Christmas Village.
Yeah,
With your family?
yeah,
That's cute.
yeah. It's for my grandma's birthday.
Oh, tell your grandma to wait.
Well, technically, we are just gonna do it anyway, but Graham got added last minute, so happy birthday.
We're actually going to do it anyway, and then for some reason they were like,
I'll go with
Well,
you guys.
They wanted.
You should. Well, you should just
Well, there's
meet us
there's
there.
like 15 of us going now.
There's 15 of you guys?
Yes.
You guys,
do have
your
a big
brother, your
family.
sister, 2 children, your parents, your grandma.
There's like 13 of us alone.
Yeah,
like, in our
because
family.
my grandparents, mom and dad, Gav, Glorianne, you
Oh.
and your wife,
I did forget about Gloria. I also forgot about Colleen.
Allison, Aaron, Asher, Harper.
You taking your girlfriend?
Who are you talking to?
Well, I'm married. I don't have a girlfriend.
I know you ain't talking to me.
I know. You taking your boyfriend?
I know you ain't talking to me.
Ayo.
Taking your cat.
No, I'm
Taking
fighting
Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh, and Colin and Owen are coming too.
Are they?
Who
Yeah.
are they?
That's my uncle and nephew,
No.
cousin. I don't know why I said nephew. My nephew is Asher.
You
Anyway,
idiot!
I'm getting all mixed up here. Let's talk about the Sixers here.
Yay!
Sixers.
We're good at basketball.
We looked like an actual basketball team.
We're
against the
doing
Bulls.
it.
We did the thing.
We're doing it.
We're doing it. Yeah, no, I mean we actually look like a legitimate. The only thing that is annoying me right now is we'll get out to these big leads
And we just can't.
and then
close it out.
we can't keep that big lead. Like we'll win these games now. We're starting to win the games here at the end, which
we
is
were
at
up
least
19 on the Bulls.
nice. We're up 19 and then like from like 5 minutes on in the third quarter to
I think we're just gassed.
I mean, we are probably pretty considering 2 of our stars like barely have played this season.
Yeah, I think they're just gassed.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Joel, and like seemingly every time that you
Sixer
look
colors.
at Joel, he's like hunched over and like gasping for air.
Dude, I love Joel so much.
I do too.
I actually forgot he was playing on Sunday. So I pull the Eagles up. I actually forgot the Sixers were playing, and I was like, "Oh, the Sixers are on." So I like flip it on, and we're in the basement. It's me and my dad. We built that shelf you guys can't see. Connor and Grassy can. That a storage shelf.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like getting to put it together. I look up at the TV and audibly go, "Holy shit, Joel's playing!" That's when I texted you. And I love Joel Embiid's game. Like, his footwork is incredible. His post game is fantastic. His mid range, like, he plays basketball like I play it at pickup ball. Like, it's just it was like so refreshing to see, especially because it wasn't like hey, I'm just running up and down the court and I'm gonna top of the key 3 every possession. And like, he had I just miss Joel Embiid so much.
It was probably the best I've seen him move in quite some time.
No, he looked, and like, he had a couple of nice like rip through lay-ins. Like
that block on Kobe White.
Yeah.
That was so nice.
Like,
I have not seen him move like that in quite some time.
it looks like that knee's feeling good. And again, like, I want to reiterate with him missing time, this was not because he was technically hurt. It was just, hey, we need to build up strength in that knee so you can be playing consistently.
Well, that's what he was saying. He was like, yeah, like I'm not injured per se. He's like, there was just like some swelling in my knee, and I get it. Like, it's certainly like frustrating for him. He said this season has kind of made him like depressed, which, like, I don't blame him. Like, I know he's a competitor. Like, he wants to be out there, but at the end of the day, like, end goal is to get him to the playoffs healthy.
Yes.
So if we can get him to the playoffs healthy, I think it would go a long way for him.
We do have to get to the playoffs first.
We do. Well, we're not far. I think we're a game and a half out of the play-in right now.
10, yeah.
Yeah. So if we can at least get to the play-in, which I'd prefer to avoid the play-in altogether. If we can get at least the 6th seed, I'd prefer that. But even with the last couple games before before Joel even coming back, Paul George running point forward looked really good for Philly. Like, I actually think that was kind of the shot in the arm that they kind of needed, getting Paul George
Point
back.
forward.
Yeah. And like, it kind of opened up the game a little bit more for Maxey. Like, when Paul George is out there, they look like a coherent basketball team.
I do think, and you've mentioned this before, I do think the Sixers would really benefit from finding like a true starting point guard.
Yeah.
Again, we just played Chicago, so it was fun to see Lonzo out there because I was like, future 76er. I think it would work great now. Who am I? Daryl, call me. Daryl,
if you're watching.
Yeah, I know you are. Yes, we are 3 games out of the 10 seed. And to be fair, we are, the 8th seed, we are also 3 games out of 3.5.
We're right there. I mean, the East is not that great. We're right there.
You just gotta win the games you should be winning.
You just kind of have to, like, kind of get a flow going, you know? Like, you kind of got some wins under your belt now. Now it's like, all right, we need to just kind of win some games. Like, prove to ourselves that we can win these games.
I think they'll be all right.
At first, it was kind of like, they were getting blown. Like, obviously, they're a brand new team. Like, you're going to have to build the chemistry one way or another. I think you've kind of found something that works. I like the lineup that they've been rolling out where you go Maxey, Oubre, PG, Gershon, and Joel. I think switching Caleb for Gershon, I think it's really kind of balanced out.
You know who I have
lineup.
not been a fan of recently?
Don't tell me. Eric Gordon.
Nope.
Kyle Lowry.
Yep.
Yeah. I've also not been a fan of Kyle Lowry because Kyle Lowry's not really doing much out there.
No.
And like he'll give you like a good stop defensively here and there.
But like, that's it.
That's pretty much it. Like, he's missing a ton of threes. Which is kind of what you need him out there for. If Jared McCain's not there,
he would be perfect as like in the Reggie Jackson role. Like, I understand you brought Reggie in because Kyle Lowry is the backup point guard per se.
Right.
But I'm like, if you can get him somehow, some way, let's say you ship Reggie for scraps, right?
Yeah.
Just like they did with what's his face last year. Oh man, what's Uber athlete traded him just for cash. Oh, it's gonna make me so mad. I can't
I'm sorry.
remember.
Hold up. Say this again.
Last year, at the deadline, the Sixers traded someone just for cash.
Oh, Jaden Springer.
No, they traded him to Boston for a second.
Traded for cash. Oh, Daniel House.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Where it's like, hey, here's a money dump. We went out and got Lonzo or whoever, maybe even like Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now Kyle Lowry becomes your third point guard. He's a great vet to have around Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain. And hey, if whoever goes down, sure, he can play a couple more minutes. And it's also kind of what they need. Like, he's can't play many minutes in the sense of like his age.
Yeah.
Like, so again, if you can get it to a point where it's like, hey, here's like spot minutes and he's averaging like 10 minutes a game, I'm totally cool with that.
But here's the thing, too, that I think we need to see more of Kelly Oubre. Because I don't know, like watching the game yesterday from what I caught, like Kelly Oubre did a lot of things really good yesterday where like he was getting a ton of offensive boards.
Yeah.
He was cutting.
Yep.
He was like in the dunker spot, like he was there, like he was open. Like he's actually been like his commitment on defense this year has actually been really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think like I know like Kelly Oubre's like one of the first guys you look at like when people are talking about trading.
Yeah. I don't think you can.
Well, and that's the thing. Like I think like obviously when you have Maxey, PG, and Joel, I think Kelly Oubre actually complements them a lot better than what I was expecting to, because Maxey and PG are gonna get up your threes. Joel's gonna score in his own right.
You need a slasher.
You need
and
a
it's
slasher.
not Gershon. It's not Caleb. It's not Jared McCain. It's not Eric Gordon.
Right.
Like it could be Ricky Council.
It could be Ricky. It could be KJ.
But Kelly has the most rounded offensive game out of all of those. And again, he is a freak athlete. Like, there's been so many, at least once a game where Maxey gets a drive, help comes, and Kelly's like, hey, look, an oop.
Yeah.
Like he is the athlete you need. And again, his ability to step outside and hit a three and just his offensive game really complements, like you said, once the three key pieces are in. I just think it works. And then again, Gershon is just kind of your hustle bustle.
He'll give you some open threes.
He's
like,
also looked like surprisingly good on like the O board. Like
Yeah.
he's always fighting for a rebound. I've also seen his name thrown around in trade talks, which would make me so mad.
I guess the thought process is like, if the season ends up going nowhere for Philly, like you might as well trade Gershon Yabusele for something, because like he's got really good value.
Yeah.
Like he's on a vet minimum deal. Like he's been really good for this team so far. And it's kind of the same thing with like KJ Martin. Like obviously KJ's contract is
KJ has looked really good.
KJ has looked really good. Like defensively, like his shot looks improved.
He's hitting open shots, which is
Kinda-
all you are asking out of
Kind
him.
of the thing that you were saying with Kelly, like KJ's essentially doing off the bench.
Yes.
Like I actually think KJ has actually played a really valuable role to this
Yes.
team.
Which again, if you do end up trading him, is so important because again, like it's just like look at the value right now, not based off the idea of like, well, he could be this or he could be that. It's like, nope, like here's what he's doing. He's shooting 40% from three. He's, he's had a couple like this last little stretch he's on, he might be averaging like 15 a game.
Yeah.
Like he just looks really great. And again, uber athlete, always hustling. There's a couple times I've seen where he gets a little lackluster on defense. Maybe lackluster's not the word, but gets a little lost and is a little weak on the defensive end, just in the sense of like, oh hey, you need to be a half step up, or oh hey, you need to close out under control and stuff like that. But like other than that, like he has been great. Who's Barney?
If I had to take a guess, I don't think it's Ezekiel Elliott, but it would be really funny if it was.
Would be. It's definitely Rico Dowdle.
It probably is Rico Dowdle, but I just think it would be really funny if it,
It was
like.
Dowdle.
I just think it'd be really funny if it was Ezekiel Elliott.
I'm winning by 0.6 points.
Oh my God! I just read. Oh,
Living life to the edge.
I just read something that scared the crap out of me.
What did you read? Bryce
Uh,
Harper just got traded?
No. Mets, Yankees among teams vying for Crochet.
What the hell are the Mets going to trade?
Who are the Mets even going to have left at that point?
It scared me because it said sources, and I saw Yankees, and I'm
Grimace
like, "There's
at
no way
first
they
and the Rizzler at third.
the Rizzler."
The
Yeah, they're actually
Rizzler was very happy about the signing.
I saw that.
Yeah.
they're actually
Rizzler
trading.
approved.
They're actually trading the money won from the lawsuit from the Hawk Tua girl.
There's a sentence in 2024.
Yeah, seriously though, what the fuck? I got very nervous because I saw sources, Yankees, and Crochet, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
I'm just not going to be surprised if he ends up on the Dodgers somehow.
I could see it. At this point, anybody could end up on the Dodgers. I really wouldn't be surprised. It's kind of.
Hey, Dodgers, you want Will Smith? Here you go.
Do you remember when like everybody was seemingly like in the NBA was seemingly going to either the Warriors or the Cavs?
Yep.
Like I feel like it's kind of the same vibe, except like everybody's just going to the Dodgers, and like there's not another team right now. Everybody else is going to.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I don't really know what to make of the whole thing.
Homer just threw a dart and can't get into the stands.
I like how
he got in.
I like how the people are dressed like Homer behind him. Look at that throw. We got Barney Gumble running for like 20 yards. We got Homer throwing darts.
Dart.
We got ourselves a ball game here, folks.
This is kind of fun. What's the next TV show they should do this with? I'll give my answer because it'll never happen. South Park. Go.
That would be wild.
But I want like the
It has to be the Broncos though.
like the MA rated South Park.
Yeah.
Like I want like all the cursing. Like yeah, that's what I want. But
It's
what's
got to be on Comedy Central.
yes,
At like 10 o'clock at night.
like yeah, a whole rerun of the game.
Yeah.
What is another show you would love to see them do this with?
Family Guy.
Family
That's
Guy.
exactly what I was
gonna
thinking.
say that would be a good one. Trying to think. You know, it would be like a fun kid one. The Muppets. You imagine where it's
Sesame Street.
it's like Kermit the Frog in at quarterback.
Throwing to Fozzie Bear.
Kermit rolls to his right. Miss Piggy blocking.
Rizzo the Rat running.
Right. That would be a fun
That
one.
would be a fun one. I like that.
Sesame Street wouldn't be bad.
I feel like that would kind of fall on the same lines with. I feel like it should be like Muppets versus Sesame Street.
That would be awesome.
That would be great. I'm trying to think. You have like Big Bird as like the tight end.
Nah, I want Big Bird throwing darts.
Big Bird in the trenches.
In the trenches.
All right.
There's got to be another one that like we're just missing.
Because I was like, you could even do it like Family Guy versus like American Dad.
That would be hilarious. Or the Cleveland Show.
Or the
Cleveland show.
You just get Peter Griffin that comes out. He's like, "All right, we're doing whites versus blacks." Cleveland's like, "Peter, you can't say that." He's like, "What? What's wrong with that? We're the home team. You're the away team. We're white. You're black."
Yeah.
I could see that. Seth MacFarlane would have a field day.
I'm trying to think what else we got here. What would be Adventure Time?
Why would
Or not Adventure Time, regular show.
It
Why
has
am
to
I-
be bigger than that.
Why am I thinking Gravity Falls?
Gravity Falls.
Grunkle Stan rolls out to his right and he fires a dot.
You know what? Let's just
Mabel.
Let's just do The Office.
The Office would be a good one. The Office versus It's Always Sunny.
I don't think The Office is that funny.
Nolan doesn't think The Office
I
is
don't
that
think
funny.
The Office is that funny. Everybody is like, "Oh my god, The Office," and I'm like, "Eh."
It is
Fun
pretty
fact:
funny.
my league is still absolutely trying to chew my brother out for shaving points.
Still?
Yeah, even though Rico Dowdle's worth 11, Najee Harris was worth 11.3.
Is Homer a system quarterback?
Homer Simpson is the Brock Purdy.
He's a game manager. That's for true.
System quarterback Homer Simpson. That's crazy.
Come on. I mean, Bluey would be a great football game.
Absolutely.
It would be a great football game. I guess my only concern is you only have like 5 of the main characters.
No, there's so many.
There's so many characters.
There's
What
so
are you
many.
talking
Well, I
about?
know
We've only seen like 4 characters on screen for The Simpsons.
That is true.
Imagine if like Muffin dropped back to pass,
There's the bingo,
fires a seam over to
socks.
Socks.
That would be. Oh, we're so off topic. I love this.
I know.
What's
Yeah.
this podcast about again?
The
I think-
Simpsons football game. That's what it's about tonight.
I think the Muppets would be perfect.
The Muppets is a really good answer. I do like that answer. Did I just make a butt fumble joke?
They did. They can because Mark Sanchez is on Fox.
I was gonna say Mark Sanchez actually did the Eagles game yesterday.
You did.
Yeah. Anywho, do we have any closing thoughts for the night?
I don't. I'm just in a fever dream of this.
Listen,
I feel-
I just hope that the Eagles can figure out why the fuck Brandon Graham decided to say stuff like that. I hope there's a reason behind it, and I hope they just gave themselves bulletin board material or something. I don't know, but
I think that again, the
The Philadelphia Eagles will move to Buffalo and be called the Buffalo Wings.
why does that sound like a Buffalo Wild Wings commercial?
I wish that joke was funnier.
I get what they're going for.
I get it.
My closing thoughts. Juan Soto signs with the Mets. I think that the Phillies have the opportunity to, really round out the entire roster.
Yeah.
I think it kind of puts them in a better spot to go and focus on individual positions as opposed to being like, let's go throw our entire offseason at this guy and then do literally nothing else.
Can I just say something that I think is really funny? Is that I love how in sports there's a major market free agent and your team is kind of in the mix, but we don't know. It's all speculation. And all you do is talk so good about this guy. Oh, I would love him on this team. It's great. It's whatever. And then he signs with your rivals and then immediately just switches up. That guy fucking sucks. He's a scumbag. He's just a money grabber. I don't like him anymore. I don't like him at all. I've never liked him before.
Well, I mean, the Giants hate
It's
Bryce Harper.
It's so funny because I'm outing my friend said that exact thing 2 days ago. We're like, oh yeah, I would love to have Juan Soto on the Phillies. He's such a great player. And then, he's not even worth that much money. I don't like him.
I'm pretty sure, way back when, I remember my dad saying that when Mike Piazza was going to become a free agent, and he would come to Philly, and they would cheer for him in hopes of bringing him to the Phillies, and he didn't go to the Phillies, and then again it kind of turned into a hey, boo this guy kind of situation. It's either you're with us or against us mentality. Obviously we love Bryce Harper, but there's so many teams that feel spurned by Bryce Harper because of
Oh yeah.
the Yankees.
They hate Bryce Harper.
The Yankees, the Giants, the Nationals feel spurned because Bryce Harper, and we're not free from it either. Jason Worth got booed in Philly for a while because he didn't run it back with the Phillies. He went to the division rival Nationals, but the Nationals were also the ones to pay him $120 million, which at that point you take the money because I'm sure Philly was not offering that kind of money.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of the thought process there. So I don't know. My closing thoughts. I sure hope next time we come on this pod, the Phillies have done a little bit more than just sign a potential closer. We signed a reliever that may or may not,
Lisa
become
Simpson
anything.
tonight. Two catches, 32 yards, and a touchdown.
Boy, Lisa's popping off tonight.
Go off.
They need to get her. They need to get her on the field more. They need to work her into more plays.
She should really be in this a lot.
She really should. I kind of blame Zach Taylor for not incorporating her more in the offense.
Yeah, crazy. Put the kid out there. Watch what happens.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Anyway,
more
well,
Simpsons football.
yeah. I'm just so fascinated by
It's
this.
just so funny to me.
But anyway, we thank you all for watching, listening, however you tune in to the Boat Row Boys podcast. Follow us on the socials. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts. Thank you. I think I'd say Apple Music.
You do
every
every
time. And shout outs to
Arnold Palmer.
Arnold Palmer. Shout outs to
Jolly Rancher.
Jolly Rancher. Shout outs to The Simpsons. Shout out to Nolan. Shout out to Izzy. Shout out to
Who's Nolan?
Shout out to Grassy.
Thank you.
Shout out to Izzy.
Shout out to Simone.
Thank you. But it has been a wonderful night, per usual. We hope the Eagles are a little bit better.
We hope they're friends next week.
We hope that in the ever-changing landscape of the NFL and the drama that it is, that the Eagles are the best of friends next week. But I guess
Hopefully.
we'll find out after the game against the Steelers. So, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you all have a wonderful night. Stay beautiful out there.
Bye.